Oh boy, lots in trouble again. Hey guys, welcome to another video. So glad you could make it and are watching. If you don't know me or my content, just hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell and you'll find out. I try to post a video just about every day except Sunday. So yeah, notification bell, y'all. But we're going through the Bible currently, and I'm trying to make it digestible and help you understand kind of the timeline. We're still learning. I'm still learning and growing, so I want you to join me on this journey as we learn and grow together, and what practical messages we can get from each part of the Bible as we go throughout all of this. So we're right now going through the life of Abraham in the beginning. In Genesis, Abraham and Sarah were just visited by three men. We believe it's like angels, and the Lord appeared to him. So it's three men, and I'm just going to call them three angels. But they came and they visited, and they're telling Abraham and Sarah about how they're going to have a kid. And now we're transitioning into the part of the conversation that gets really interesting, that's now talking about Lot, Abraham's nephew. They had parted ways, and so Lot was in a different section of town, in a totally different area, and Abraham is still in Canaan, and Lot is near Sodom and Gomorrah. And I will try to see if I can edit a picture to give you kind of a visual on what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyway, so they're like, should we tell Abraham what's going on or not? They eventually do tell Abraham, and essentially Sodom and Gomorrah, those cities are so wicked and filthy that God is going to destroy the cities. And Lot lives there, though. And so Abraham is like, are you really going to destroy the cities if there's like maybe, I don't know, 50 people there? And God is like, no, I won't destroy the city if there's just 50 people there. And Abraham keeps probing him, be like, okay, well, what about 45? What about 30? What about 20? What about 10? And finally he lands on 10. And he's like, all right, I won't destroy the city if there's 10 people there who are believers, who are mine. And there's not even 10 people in these cities that are following God. And so let's go ahead and read that passage. This is a kind of heavier subject because, like, wow, why would God destroy the cities? But let me read the passage, and maybe you'll have a better understanding on what's going on. Then the men set out from there, and they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to set them on their way. The Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed on him? For I have chosen him, that he may command his children and his households after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised to him. Then the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me. And if not, I will know. So the men turned from there and went toward Sodom, but Abraham still stood before the Lord. Then Abraham drew near and said, will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous men within the city. Will you sweep them away? Will you then sweep away the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to put the righteous to death with the wicked, so that the righteous fare as the wicked. Far be that from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is just? And the Lord said, if I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Abraham said, behold, I am undertaken to speak to the Lord. I am but dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. Again he spoke to him and he said, suppose 40 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 40 I will not do it. Then he said, oh, let the Lord not be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there. And he answered, I will not do it, if I find 30 there. And he said, behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 20 I will not destroy it. Then he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak again, but this once. Suppose 10 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 10 I will not destroy it. And the Lord went his way when he finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. This has always been kind of an interesting one for me to read when I've read it before, and I was like, man, did God just like change his mind? Because Abraham is like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you, like, you need to save your people? But no, the Lord already knew what was happening, what Abraham was going to say. And I think this was a kind of shows a little bit of Abraham's concern for the people and for the city and for the Lord's righteous. And I think that's like a great thing that came from Abraham there is he's like kind of trying to be like on their behalf, talk to the Lord. And the Lord already knew what was happening, already knew what was going on, but he went along with Abraham. He was like, all right, no, I won't do it, because he is gracious, he is just. And he was so gracious in being like, all right, Abraham, stop. I know how many people are there. I know it's already going to happen. But he didn't. He was like, no, all right, 30, 10, 20, whatever. But there's only, I think, I'll read in the future, 6 people, not even 6, 4 people in both cities that even fear the Lord. So this one's a lot heavier one of what is about to happen to Sodom and Gomorrah and the wickedness that is taking place. And we get a little piece of that, in the next video. We get a little piece of what actually is going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. And it's kind of crazy, guys. We're going to get into some hot waters in the next video. You don't want to miss it. Because what's going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, we only get a taste of what's going on. But it's bad. It's bad. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this was kind of a short one, where this is like the beginning stages of another crazy happening in the Bible. But just stay close to the Lord. Trust in him. Trust in his guidance. God is a just God. And he's a just God in that he judges the wicked and he also rewards the righteous. And yes, we go through trials, we go through temptations, and we still have to have that trust in the Lord. But at the end of the day, if you're not following Jesus Christ, if you're not trusting in him, and if you're not in a relationship with God, you will be judged in the end, because that's not a just God then. So if you don't have a relationship with him, he loves you and he wants you to be his child and he wants to adopt you into his family. And it says in the Bible that when someone turns to the Lord, this is very paraphrased, but when somebody turns to the Lord in faith and believes in him, all the angels in heaven rejoice. So if you have not taken that step, I really encourage you to take that step. Trust in the God who created the universe to take care of everything and to live in heaven with him for eternity. Because this life on earth is not the life. Eternity is what we were looking forward to in the end. That is where we are going. So be blessed. Love you all. And I hope that this video at the end of the day encouraged you and made you think a little.